A little something about Raymond. He's an investor in stocks and rentals. He wants no money from you, no bait and switch, nothing. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to log into his personal account, share real estate property documents, and give you suggestions on what to read.
Let's talk about Social Security. This is Raymond from Stocks and Rentals. And right now you are looking at an email that I got from the Social Security Administration, and I get this annually, asking me to log into my account and review it to see what kind of money will I get when I get in my 60s and it's time to retire. So I want to log in and I want to be about it, not talk about it. And as you guys should know, if you're familiar with my channel on my website, I log into my accounts and I show you what I'm doing. I show you that I know what I'm talking about. And everything I do is to encourage you to invest in stocks and rentals. So you got a lot of people who will talk in general about things, but if they really know what they're talking about, ask them, tell them, say, why aren't you opening up your accounts if you're supposed to be the guru in this and that? So let's log into the Social Security website and we're going to get this going. And I'm going to show you exactly what's going on with my Social Security and things you want to look out for and consider as you get older. So we are here at the website. This is mysocialsecurity.gov. And if you don't have an account, you can create one. I have one, so I'm going to log in. And it's a lot of hoops that they make you go through to get in here. So get you a drink, sit back in the chair, and let me log in, and then we're going to make it do what it do. All right, you know how it goes. You got to agree to the terms of service. So let's do that. And they should finally let me in. Let me in. All right, I am in. You see the welcome Raymond. There's a lot of things to click on here once you log in. And I suggest you guys just click on your security settings, your preferences, and all these tabs and clicks. I believe they should be the same for you. But the first one we want to check out is this one, this fact sheet. It says additional work can increase your future benefits. So let's check this out. And what this is telling you is, what do you have to do to even get a Social Security retirement check? So you got to do some things before you can even talk about how much it's going to be. So this is saying that you need to work at least 10 years or more, and you have to get at least 40 credits. So we're going to come back and talk about what exactly is a credit. But the 10 years, that's pretty easy. That means that you need a job where you pay into the system to get something out of the system. So how do you know you have the type of job that will pay into the system to get something out? You should remember forms like these. So this is a W-4, and this is a form that you typically fill out on your first or second day of a new job. And what this form is saying, hey, I got this new job, I'm working here, take taxes out of my paycheck and put them into Social Security. So this is something that you fill out when you first get a job. But this one right here, this is a W-2. So this is a form after you get that job that at the beginning of every year, you should get this W-2, and you're using this form to find out what you paid into the system and to file your income taxes. So the key thing on this form is your wages, which would be box number 3. So if you made 28,000, 40,000, 100,000, you should see that number right here. And then, of course, they got to get their money. So the Social Security tax withheld, this is what you're paying into Social Security, so you can get a retirement check when you get into your 60s. So this is the number that's being taken out of your paycheck that's going to Social Security. And here's another form. If you get this form, this is a 1099 form. This also is saying that you work and maybe you didn't pay the taxes every pay period. You might get this at the end of the year, or you might get it quarterly. But if you never pay into it and you get a 1099, that means that you need to pay into Social Security if you want to get a Social Security retirement check. You don't have an option. You have to do this. So please pay your taxes. If you get this 1099 form, look at it, take the numbers, go to an accountant or TurboTax or whatever you want to use, but you got to do something, and that's pay the IRS. Don't play with them. So that's how you know if you can get a Social Security check once you get older. This is what this form is stating. You got to work to get it. So let's talk about these credits. And they have a tab that we can click on that will give us more information. And this is right here. It says learn more about work credit. So let's do that. And let me make the screen bigger. So this is pretty easy. What is a work credit? A work credit means that, like I just said, you got to have a job where you pay into the system, and a credit is really an amount of money that you earn. So one credit for 2021 equals $1,470. And the max number of credits you can get on 1 year is 4. So if you multiply 4 by 1,470, you get this number that you see right here, 5,880. So you need to make at least that amount right here if you want to earn the total of 4 credits. And you can make more than that, but you're still going to max out at 4 credits per year. So everything I just talked about is telling you how to establish what you need to get Social Security retirement benefits. But what about the amount? How big would your check be when you get in your 60s? That's what you really want to know. So let's talk about that. Social Security looks at your highest 35 years of earnings to determine how big your check could be. So no matter if you work more than 35 years or less than 35 years, Social Security magic number is 35. So let me give you 2 examples. Let's say that you worked 20 years, and for whatever reason you didn't work a year after 20. Well, Social Security is going to say, well, we want to look at 35 years of employment, and if you only work 20, we're going to look at whatever you made each year. So if you made 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, they're going to look at that. They're going to do their math on that, plus an additional 15 years of zeros. So every year you didn't work, you get a 0. Those zeros will average into the 20 years that you work. So let's say you work 50 years. Social Security is still going with that magic number of 35. And what they're going to do is, out of the 50 years you worked, they're going to look at the 35 years that you made the most money, and then they're going to do their math on that to determine what your Social Security retirement check will be. So out of the 50 years, if you had 10 years where you were making minimum wage, so let's say you made, I don't know, $14,000, $15,000 a year, but you started doing some other things and you got some breaks in life, and then you started making, let's say, $50,000 and higher, they're not going to look at those minimum wage years. They're going to look at the years where you made more money, because they are going to pull the highest 35 out of the 50 years that you worked. So hopefully that's making sense. So let's look at what I have going on. So again, we're in my account, and let's just go up to the top. All right, so welcome, Raymond. It's telling me that I've got the 40 credits, and as we just discussed, you need that. It's also saying in 2020, I earned $0. So for the last 8 years, I have not worked. So for me, I have 8 years of zeros that's being averaged into the annual pay when I was working. So I worked, I think, a little over 20 years, and then I got these zeros, and then they're still looking at their magic number, which is 35. So I got some more zeros coming if I don't get back and start working for someone. So if I don't start getting that W-2, what we talked about here, or this form here, that means that I'm going to keep getting zeros. So what else do we have? We're going to keep scrolling down. And bingo! It's telling me how much money as of today at full retirement age 67 I would get. So I would get $2,382. Now this will change based on what I do in the future. So if I decided to get a job, then this number possibly will go higher because they're going to stop looking at those zeros and start looking at the new money that I make annually. Or this number could possibly go down. So if I don't work, it's going to be more zeros added in because they're going to look at the 35, and this number can get lower. But right now, they're projecting at age 67, I'll get this much. So let's scroll down. And I'm going to make this screen a little smaller because there's some stuff over here I want to show you. I can actually, or anybody, you can actually retire early. So retiring early would be at 62. You cannot retire at 60 or 61 and expect to file Social Security retirement benefits. You can't get your first check until you turn 62. So for me, if I want to claim my benefits at 62, I'm going to lose money. I will get $1,677. 67, like I said, this is $2,382. But if I can afford to wait 3 more years to the age of 70, I will get almost $3,000 a month, $2,953. So how do you determine what you should do? That is an individual choice. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can give you some ideals of how to think about the process. So this is how I'm thinking about it. If my money was tight and I'm approaching my 60s and my attitude was, I need money now, I can't afford to wait. At 62, I'm saying give me that $1,677. Let's say that you're living pretty comfortably. So you have savings, you got 401k, you just got other ways and other means to make money. Maybe you're still working and you still have a job. You might say, you know what? I'm going to wait until 67. I'm going to stop working. I'm going to retire and I'm going to grab this $2,382. Maybe you want to work all the way up to age 70. If that's the case, then you might wait to the $2,953 in my case. Or even if you want to stop working early like me. So I don't work. I invest in stocks and rentals. I'm doing really well, and I show you that every week by uploading my videos of all my portfolios. So I'm not going to grab it at 62. I don't plan to grab it at 67. I'm going to wait until I'm 70, get the max amount, and then I'm going to say, all right, send me this check every month. The other thing that you have to think about is your health. Do you think you're going to make it to age 67? Do you think you can live to age 70 and beyond? If you're in good health, if you have confidence that you can make it, that factors in. Let's say you got a lot of money, so you've been doing really well in your investments, but you get some bad news at around 57, 58. You got a critical illness. And if you believe the doctors and they're saying maybe we'll give you 10 years to live. So if you're 57, you might make it to 67. Well, only God knows, but if you get to 67 and then file and die, you're not even going to get your first check because you didn't get past 67. So in that case, I would probably say, hey, I'm 62, even though I got a good nest egg, give me that check started at 62. So two things that I consider is how you're living, your financial well-being, and how long do you think you're going to live. Those are the two important things to determine if you want to get your money early or at retirement age or wait to 70. So let me tie this into stocks and rentals. Let's go to my webpage. And if you invest in stocks and rentals like I do, you don't pay into the system. So if I started doing stocks and rentals at an early age and I never ever worked for somebody, so I never had that W-4 filled out and I never got that W-2 at the beginning of the year, I didn't pay into the system. Therefore, I wouldn't get any type of Social Security retirement. But let's look at what I have. If you look at my 4 accounts and add them up, this one has over 231,000. This one has over 96,000. This one has over 435,000. This one has over 383,000. Adding the 4 accounts up, that's over $1 million. And I'm nowhere near retiring. So let's say I'll retire in 20 more years. So if I got over $1 million now, and with the stock market average about 9% a year, in 20 more years, I should be close to $3 million. So now I got $3 million. I'm in my 60s. Let's say I'm 67. And I'm saying, I think I got 20 more years of living. I'm in pretty good health. So I'll probably make it to 87. Hopefully higher, but at least 87. So I got that $3 million that I can draw down. And if I started to draw that $3 million down at the age of 67, my monthly check would be about $13,000 a month. That's a lot more than that $2,300 that I showed you. Not dissing the $2,300, and I'm glad that I did both. So early, when I was younger, yeah, I did work for some companies, but I realized, I said, man, I'm never going to be rich or I'm never going to be wealthy and have the money and the freedom if I always keep working for someone. So I stopped doing that, and you see what I do. I sit on my ass and I make passive income by clicking the mouse, click, 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 invest, 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 lay back and let the money roll in. And this is all something that you guys can do, and I encourage you guys to do it. Hopefully you guys are getting something out of this. I always encourage you to invest in stocks and rentals. I just showed you a portfolio over $1 million. And if you're pretty young with $1 million, you have no other option than for it to grow. And then when you get to retirement age, you can just start drawing it down and do what you want to do. Let me say this. I didn't talk about my pension. So I have 2 pensions. So I got money coming. When I get 65, I can get my 2 pensions going. So I get a monthly check from those. And if I still have my rental property, so if I didn't sell them or anything, I'm still getting money from that. So if I add up everything, my best guess with the money coming in from rentals, pension, and all my investment accounts, I should be in my 60s and I should have at least $20,000 a month coming in. So we will see. I plan to stick around as long as God lets me, and also plan to keep you guys updated so you will know when I get in my 60s what I'm really doing, how those checks are looking. All right, I'm Raymond, Stocks and Rentals. Get your money. I'm getting my money. I prove that I get it. You can do it too. I'm out. Peace.